talk about the Karoo 3. So I've had the Karoo 3 on for 2 sets, technically. I haven't worn through either one of them. Well, the rear I recently wore through. I just put a TKC 80 on for the first time. But so the Karoo 3, I like it. I've seen some mixed reviews on the tire. Let's get a closer look, come on. So I wanted to try a more aggressive tire, but I needed something that was going to be good off-road but last long, which is why I haven't tried the TKC 80s until now. And I like them. My first rear I changed, maybe it was about 5,500 miles and it still had some tread on it. Although it was wearing in the middle, so it'd be less aggressive off-road. And the front had tons of life on it. This front has about 6,000, a little over 6,000 miles on it. So I changed the rear because it was pretty flat, but that's not bad, I think. And so this second set I put them on right before I did the Dalton Highway. So I put them on in Fairbanks. Well, I didn't put them on, Dan put them on. And the rear lasted over 6,000 miles with luggage on the bike, off-roading on some tough rocks on the Dalton Highway, and just slaying highway miles with tons of stuff on the bike. So I think all in all, it's done pretty well. I'm really happy with them. Okay, you gotta take my off-road ability with a grain of salt because I've never had a dirt bike and I don't know all these off-road tires. It's all new to me. But I felt like they did pretty good. I used to go to the spillway and I'd ride around. With my lack of skills, it seemed to, the tires definitely helped me out. But they were still really aggressive for the road, which is what I liked. You still hit the corners really hard. And then the bigger thing I like is they last a while. I put on way too many miles to be constantly changing tires all the time, which is the main reason why I've stayed away from the TKC 80s. And so I'm giving TKC 80s a shot now, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, they've been great. Off-road, everything I did was really good. They did cake up in mud, but they ejected it pretty well once you were out of the mud. So it does look like the mud gets taken off pretty well as soon as you're not in the mud. Did well in sand, did no problem in dirt and gravel. They did really well on the Dalton Highway for me. So as far as off-road goes, I think they're pretty good for a bigger bike, street-orientated bike. Great in the rain, no issues at all in the rain. And I ride in the rain all the time on the highway. It's just, if you're going to travel long distance on a motorcycle, you're going to ride in the rain. You're going to live in New Orleans and you're probably going to ride in the rain. So it's just a fact of life. These tires did great in the rain. Yeah, a little loud on the highway, but really no issues. I did some big trips. When I first got them on, I went to Charleston, South Carolina with them. Obviously, I did them at the Dalton Highway. Or I did them before the Dalton Highway, and so they took me from Fairbanks to Prudhoe Bay, then down to the Kenai Peninsula, up to Anchorage, and then from Anchorage now I've gone through Canada, back to the States, and now I'm currently in Tucson, Arizona, so the Karoos took me all through there. They're a little on the expensive side, but they last a long time, so it's it's kind of a trade-off. Obviously, the more you change the tires, the more pain in the butt is if you do it yourself. Or the more expensive is if you're taking it to a shop. So the fact that they last a long time, really good for me. One of the downsides to the tires is they are a very stiff tire. The sidewall is very stiff, and that does mean that they are really hard to do yourself. They're a bit of a nightmare putting them on and off. But yeah, like once you get them on, they last a long time. So in that regard, they're great. Yeah, I like them. I'll probably end up putting them back on eventually. I'm going to try some other tires first so I get more experience. But, as far as the Street Scrambler goes, they're good. You can expect, like I said, depending on how you ride, probably at least 5,000 miles out of the rear. Probably 12 plus out of the front. I don't know, my front's got a lot of life left for for 6,000 already. Have you tried the Karoo 3s? What do you think about them? If you haven't, what do you prefer? Let me know in the comments below and let's chat. I almost forgot to tell you. As always, thanks for watching and scramble on.